Welcome back to Cincinnati Reds Daily. I'm your host, Greg, and we have some news for you today. It's probably a day late or so, but just getting the video to you today. So apologies about that. But we have two Cincinnati Reds players that officially lost to free agency, both of whom were outrighted earlier this week or toward the end of last week. Veteran reliever Ian Gibaut and infielder Santiago Espinal are both moving on from the Cincinnati Reds. Of course, they do have the option to come back and sign another deal with them if they wanted to, but usually that doesn't happen in this case. Let's break down what that means for the Reds bullpen, the infield depth, and what comes next this offseason. After being outrighted by the Reds, Ian Gibaut has elected free agency. The 31-year-old right-hander appeared in 35 games or 25 games this season, posting a 4.62 ERA, but injuries kind of derailed his season. He spent multiple stints on the injured list, and his season ended in August when he underwent surgery to repair a torn labrum and reattach his biceps tendon, according to MLB.com's Mark Sheldon. Over 4 years in Cincinnati, Gibaut was a dependable arm, 143 appearances. He had a 3.92 ERA, and he had 133 strikeouts in 137 innings. Again, there's a chance Gibaut could return to the organization on a minor league deal if both sides are open to it, but for now, he'll explore the open market. One thing that's interesting about Gibaut, I'm not sure how long he'll be out with that injury. I don't know if he'll be fine in the offseason. It sounds like a pretty painful injury, but I don't know. You don't really hear much about the injury in the offseason, especially once he elects free agency and the Reds outright him. So that'll be an interesting thing if he's ready to go in spring training or if he's not ready to go. Listen, Gibaut had a solid career with the Reds. He had a couple of good years. A lot of times the Reds had to use him in appearances or in spots he probably shouldn't have been put in. He's not a high leverage reliever by any means, but the Reds had to use him as a high leverage reliever at times. Many of you guys remember opening day this past season against the Giants. Terry Francona said, "We don't have a closer. We're going to go closer by committee." He sent Ian Gibaut out there to close in the ninth of opening day, and it was a disaster. From there, Emilio Pagán got the job, and he held it down for the rest of the season. So again, best of luck to Ian Gibaut. But with Emilio Pagán also hitting free agency, the Reds bullpen has some hills to fill. Cincinnati's obviously going to have to go get a couple relievers in the offseason and add kind of stability behind, the likes of Tony Santillan down in the bullpen, Graham Ashcraft, guys like that down in the bullpen. Santiago Espinal is also moving on from the Reds. He elected free agency after the Reds outrighted him off the 40-man roster over the weekend. The Reds acquired Espinal in the 2024 season, and while his defensive versatility was valuable, his bat just did not hold up down the stretch, especially in the 2025 season. In 232 games across two seasons, he slashed 245, 294, 322 with 33 extra base hits. After hitting 9 home runs in 118 games in 2024, Espinal he lost his power in 2025. He failed to go deep in 114 games during the 2025 season. And his splits, he was also pretty good against left-handed pitching in 2024. That kind of fell off in 2025, and he was just really bad offensively this past season. When the Reds traded for Gibaut Hayes and called up top prospect Sal Stewart from AAA Louisville, there simply wasn't anywhere for Espinal to play. He tallied just 32 plate appearances after the trade deadline. Espinal will likely look for a team where he has a clear path to making the opening day roster. His defensive flexibility could draw interest. This is pretty amazing, but he played first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left field, and right field for the Reds in the 2025 season. Espinal provided great value for the Reds last year when they needed a backup shortstop or when they needed a shortstop. Another infielder. He played a lot of third base for the Reds. But with trading for Gibaut Hayes, with Sal Stewart set to be on the roster going forward, it just doesn't make sense for Espinal to be on the roster. He's not good enough offensively, and I'm glad the Reds actually made this decision. I thought there was a chance, just with how much Terry Francona liked Espinal, that they could keep him on the roster, but they made the right move here. So just some closing thoughts. Ian Gibaut and Santiago Espinal are now free agents. The Reds will need to restock their bullpen. They'll need to restock the bench this offseason. Who would you like to see the Reds target this offseason? I know everybody wants to see Kyle Schwarber. I'm not so sure that will happen. I think the Reds should go after him. They need a power bat in the lineup. But drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications for all Cincinnati Reds updates. As always, we'll see you next time, and thanks for being here. Go Reds.